So let's talk fender benders for a second.
Oh,
yeah.
But is it a fender bender?
The fender goner.
Let's define exactly what a fender bender is. If you weren't listening yesterday, I was telling these guys that I was in New York over the weekend visiting my mom who's got dementia. I told you about that. But while I was gone, I get a call from my son on the weekend. And no lie, 3/4 of the time, if I get a call from my son, that means something happened to his car. So I get the call from him, and I immediately know, like, what's up. I've been drinking a little bit on Saturday after visiting my mom, and it was St. Patrick's Day in New York, so it was a little bit cloudy, to be honest with you. But I do remember him coming on and giving me the same line that he does anytime he gets into a fender bender, which is, hey, and I can hear it in his voice, too, man, that, like, I don't want to say shame, just maybe disappointment, you know?
That's a hard call to make to your parents.
It's right. So, hey, Dad. I immediately knew with the sound of his voice, this was going to cost me $1,000. So I just want to let you know I'm okay. That's confirmation that here comes a car problem. But I got into a fender bender, and I ran into a pole.
Oh, no.
Okay? Fender bender. So I get his mom on the phone also, and she confirms that it's a fender bender, and I can already hear her, like, supporting her son, like, it was just a mistake. These things happen when they're 16. But the words that I heard were fender bender, okay? All right, fender bender. They send me the picture, and that would not have been my definition of a fender bender. Okay, like, fender bender to me, you're going a couple of miles an hour, which I'm not sure how fast he was going. It's an odd corner in his school parking lot going up to a main road, but there is a curve there. And his CarPlay the screen started to get all glitchy on him. So he looked down at it, and when he did that, it was just enough for him to veer to the right and miss that curve and went right into, like, a little security pole that you might see that's on a bike, not a bike lane, but a walking lane, but they have those barriers set up so bikes can't get through it or cars can't get through it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. So he hit it, and the right side of the car, the wheel was super bent under, right? And a quarter of the fender appeared to be off to me. So I'm not exactly sure at this point what a fender bender is. I also know this about cars, that I know nothing about cars. Literally nothing. So I couldn't look at it and tell you if it was going to cost $1,000 or it was going to cost $5,000, but it looked really bad to me. So he and his mom get the car towed, and to make a long story short, they finally get it towed to a body shop. So for the last 24 hours, all of us have been waiting for the estimate to come back on exactly how much it's going to cost, right? So I got that email yesterday, and keep in mind, this is on the heels of me buying this car a year ago, which I can't remember the exact price, but let's say $16,000, right? Then he had himself a bit of a fender bender a couple of months ago, but because he had a fender bender before that I ran through insurance, I told you guys yesterday, I'm up to $900 a month for his insurance.
That's insane.
Insane. We took calls yesterday and said, look, $900? Look, I'm paying $3,000 for my kids. What? $3,000?
Wow.
Anywho, so I'm already not exactly sure what I'm going to do if this call comes in and it's a super, super expensive fix. So I decided I'm just going to wait till I actually see the number and not stress about it, not have to make decisions until I see it. And yesterday I get the email on exactly how much it's going to be. Remember, this is a $17,000 used car.
Uh-huh.
This fender bender. No, drum roll. Let's drum roll it.
Fender bender.
Let's drum roll it.
How much you gonna pay?
Fender bender equals $11,000.
No!
You just get a new car at that point.
The whole car.
You guys, he's so bummed out.
Oh, God.
This little guy's so bummed out because I've told you before, he's like the mayor of his group. He needs to be around kids. He's got soccer practice. He's hanging out with his friends all over the place. $11,000. So fixing that car, not an option. Right?
I've never understood that about cars. Why does it cost so much?
I don't know. I mean, I've got a whole list. I can show you it. And it's item after item after item after item after item. Now, I could take it somewhere else and get a second opinion. They said we could put some other parts on there that aren't like factory parts, and they could probably get it down to $10,000. They're listeners, so I kind of got the Bert Show safety net there. I'm pretty sure I'm not getting screwed, you know?
Yep.
They've been really super, super nice, and they were almost apologetic about it. Like, this is going to hurt, bro. This one's going to hurt.
Look, I don't care if it's different colors. Put anything on there.
Yeah,
okay?
right?
Just, whatever costs less.
Just rub some dirt in it.
Yeah.
So at this point, I don't have the funds to get a new car for him. I don't. I've got the renovation going on right now. I've got budgetary things going on also. So at this point, I don't really know what his game plan is. We talked about it yesterday, and I'm like, dude, I think you're on your own on this one. I mean, I just put up this amount of money for that. I'm paying this for that. So if I were you, he's going to a church retreat this weekend, which he needs to talk to God a little bit.
Perfect timing.
So I said, when you get back, you really need to start looking for a job, and I think you're going to have to take care of this one yourself, my man.
Oh, it's easy. Too young for feet pics yet? Or you know what?
Are we ever too young
Never.
for feet pics?
Your
Never.
feet pics could pay this off real quick.
I have worked very, very hard to fund his car the last year. I think he's on his own on this one. And it's not because I'm trying to punish him or anything, but, I don't have $16,000 to poop out of my butt. I don't have that kind of cash to cover, fender benders for a 16-year-old. And then when something like this happens, just go ahead and buy a new car. I can't do it. So I think he's going to have to take care of this one himself.
What was his reaction to that?
I can't even make fun. He's really hurt. He's really bummed out about it. I mean, this is his freedom. This is a 16-year-old's freedom, right? And if I had the cash to help him out right now, I probably would, although I'm starting to think like maybe if he had to work for it himself and pay for it himself, maybe he would handle a car a little bit differently. That I do not know, but I think this is sort of where we're going with it.
It's one of those tough life lessons, man.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Because, as your reaction as a parent is always to like take care of your kids,
Fix it.
make them fix it, right? And this one, I just think he's going to have to fix on his own. Oh,
I think you're
feel
doing the
for
right
him.
thing. You're doing the right thing.
well, it's not even that I got a lot of wiggle room. It's not like I'm making a decision. I'm going to teach this kid the value of money. I just don't have it right now, man. The money that I'm spending on renovations it's just like I got a budget. Believe it or not, son, I got a budget. So you're going to have to take care of this one.
Those are the lessons you remember, though.
For sure.
Like he will move differently in his cars from now on.
Man, yeah.
That sucks, though.
It does.
The Bert Show.